Okay, this is where they take a break, and are they just showing stuff that they've showed before? Yeah, this is just showing stuff they've shown before, right? Pinky curls? What the fuck? I knew. Oh, you can't hear it. Doink. Thank you. Yeah, they already showed this. But we can watch it again. Or did they show this? I feel like I don't remember seeing the inside of this. I remember seeing out here, but I don't remember seeing the inside of anything. I remember seeing the beach. You can see the little Ethernet shard there. That shit's brazy. That shit is brazy, dude. What the hell is happening in Dawntrail, bro? What is happening in Dawntrail? They added Cyberpunk. These areas they don't really do it for me personally. I'm not a fan of the whole like deserty kind of tribal designs. Or like this is just like the Wild West. Again, doesn't really do it for me in any way. That's a Dead Dog Saloon from DVD. Yeah, I like green areas much more. Lots of trees and plants I like way more. That's beautimous. So pretty. Okay, this place is my shit. This is where you will find me, okay? This is where I will be. This is where I will be. And this was a dungeon, right, that they were showing? Looks so cool. I love these colors. That's really cool up there. I like that a lot. I guess the dungeons aren't going to be challenging at all though, right? Because they said this was like the only time. This is like the only time they didn't say. Isn't it the only time they didn't say like challenging new dungeons? Wow, they show a lot here of them playing.
Viper ですね。さあ、Viper から再開しようと思いますが、まず最初、特徴
Accidentally passed early. Yep, they gotta restart the song.
パワーポイントでお知らせします。
So we are going to jump back in with Viper.
I love
but just
riverboat
wanted to quickly
fights.
go over its characteristics via this PowerPoint.
まずはですね、こちら二刀流ウェポンスキル
Fast-paced?
コンボから合体剣アビリティの
We talking like monkey fast-paced
コンボ
or
から二刀流アビリティと、まあとにかく多彩ですと、しかもハイテンポですというのが特徴
my
です。
camera?
So it says
Doink.
a fast-paced job that fluidly shifts between dual blade and double bladed strikes in their various combos and abilities. So you basically have a mode where you have two blades in your hands, each of your hand, and then when those two blades come together in one single blade and kind of going back and forth. But it's a very sort of fast-paced and you have varying attacks.
ですね、ちょっと生亀を入れ
But the question is it always fast-paced, like Monkey? Or is it fast-paced when you are in this, you know, other phase? Because that's how Reaper is, right? Reaper's super duper slow outside of your burst. So I'm really hoping that it's not just another Reaper clone, because Reaper is beautiful and it is fun to play in moderation, but it gets boring very fast if you are playing it a lot. Yeah, I really don't want another Reaper. I really don't want another 1, 2, 3, oh, burst window, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know?
入れていただいてもいいですか？
はい。
So
カメラにしていただい
Hi,
て。
Xenon.
はい、ありがとうございます。
なるほど。まあワイプでもう良かったんですけど、
あ
まあ多分ねワイプの方が分かりやすい。
あ、なるほど。
ごめんなさい。さあ二刀流コンボって文字通りこう剣をこう
Oh, now I'm covering them.
手入んね2個こう
There's nowhere for me to be.
2頭振るのがウェポンスキルね。
はい
二刀流ウェポン
There's
スキル
nowhere for me to be to not cover something.
で合体剣アビリティっていうのは
Here, I
2
guess.
つの剣をこう合体して
Foxhound's right there.
こうなぎなたのように
I
一
guess.
つにして放つアビリティ群とかつこの合体させた剣の状態で放つウェポンスキルでこれでねなんとなく絵のイメージ文字だけだとね何言ってんねんみたいな
ダースサムシングですね。
So just looking at the text seems very it's not very descriptive. Well, I mean it's descriptive, but you can't it's hard to tell sometimes. So when we say double bladed
So true, Yoshi.
or no, sorry, dual blade.
Dual
Dual
blade,
blade is
dual
where you
blade.
have a blade in each of your hand. And so you have those weapon skill combos, and then you go into a double bladed where those two blades come together and it has its own abilities. And then it also has a set of weapon skill abilities.
My,
Or
one of my thoughts on Viper, just visually, was that outside of the, you know, the blue phase, the like really fast phase, everything looked the same. Like, you know, in terms of like everything was the same exact color, all of the animations just kind of looked the same, they kind of blended together. Couldn't really tell them apart that much. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I may have to watch it again. Hi Scrouch, hi Grimmy, hi Flora. It does? Okay, so it's not just me. Yeah, I want to go back and watch it again,
Weapon
but
skills,
it
sorry.
looked very same and very, I don't know,
タイム
boring until it got to the fast part, and then it was like,
また
okay.
両方入りました。
ダースモール
はい、
Darth Maul.
ロングストーリーショー
It's like Darth Maul.
で、
That's true.
もう一個特徴出しちゃっていいです。アクションの総数っていうのは他のジョブとまあ同等なんですけど、セットする数っていうのがまあできるだけ少なく済むような仕組みが今回入って
So
ます。
there's gonna be lots of like continuation kind of
So the
buttons.
second point reads, has a similar total number of actions as other jobs, but designed so that fewer actions need to be set on the hotbar, just so that you have fewer like icons to place into your hotbars.
でまあこれから実機でご覧いただこうとはもちろん思うんですけど、その仕組みが動いてるからなんか同じボタンを連打してるように見えるんですけど、
Also,
実際
I would like to say, I did see, I was on Twitter a little bit. I didn't see anything about any of the jobs that I didn't look at yet, but I did see people were saying the comment on how they were talking about having certain actions be like, you know, continuation, or how high jump turns into mirage dive, you know, that kind of stuff. And people thought that they were going to put like all of your combos on one button. Which, you know, we had a whole discussion about this yesterday. That's not what it sounded like, though. So I don't know why that's the conclusion people jumped to. It didn't sound like that at all. Like, I was just saying, I don't want them to do the continuation thing, or, you know, the high jump turning into mirage dive kind of situation with everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine for some things. I just don't want them to do it with everything. But I didn't think that they were going to put all of your combos onto one button. It did not sound like that at all, based on not only what they said, but also the description that was on the screen. So, it was to doom and gloom. Dum-dums, yeah. It was so clear it wasn't the case what they said, yeah. Yeah, I know it's optional as well. Yeah, it's just, I don't... People were like so immediately up in arms about that, and I don't understand why. And I hate that it's like, people were like super up in arms about that immediately. And then the people who were saying, like the people who were trying to counter, messenger people I saw were happy. I don't follow like that many, I don't use Twitter really that much to begin with. And like, I don't follow a ton of Final Fantasy creators. I definitely see a lot of Final Fantasy stuff, but I don't follow like a million people who like all post about Final Fantasy all the time. Because I don't really use Twitter, so I try to, but I don't. Midway between current and PvP hotbar. I don't even think it's going to be midway. It's going to be just more jobs have something like continuation, or again, like how Dragoon has high jump turning into mirage dive. It's going to be stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be like PvP. 70% of the comments everywhere I saw people were praising that now they'd have more space for them to add more interesting stuff, and that 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday. How like if they're gonna like consolidate 2 buttons, you know, like, oh, you do this and then you get a proc for this. Like, example, again, I keep using this example, but it's just a very good example. Using high jump and it procs mirage dive. Putting those on the same button, that just frees up a new button to have a whole different GCD. You know what I mean? Like, or a whole different OGCD. Just a whole new ability that's like separate from those two. Because, you know, it's like we said yesterday, there's only so many buttons. There's only so many keybinds. There's only so many spots on your hotbar. You can't just keep adding shit forever and never consolidate things or rework things or remove certain things. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that has to be done. Also, why is the Viper icon sage wings? Sorry. I guess it's supposed to be like snake teeth, but I just see sage wings. I think I would not see sage wings if... No, I know it's snake teeth. I would not see sage wings if Sage wasn't already out. But because Sage came out in Endwalker and now we've had Sage for years, I just see sage wings. Or yeah, weapons. What are they called? Newliths. Newliths. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. And now that's all I see. You like the fangs? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of dorky a little bit. I don't know. A little bit cheesy, a little bit dorky, but that's just me. But yeah, with people like instantly posting, and honestly, it's really embarrassing for them. It's really embarrassing for them to, like these people to have immediately, you know, tweeted out complaining, I can't believe they're gonna put all our combos onto one single button. They're not. They literally didn't say that. They literally didn't say that. So they literally didn't say that. I don't know. They straight up didn't say that. But it's even more frustrating because the people who were tweeting things like that, the people responding to them are like, oh, this is just your classic example of elitism in this game. But it's not. It's not. It's just someone being stupid. It's someone being stupid. And honestly, I have to say, like, stupid on purpose, right? Like, they are purposefully misconstruing the information that they were given. VIP and PTO. No, it's going to be VPR and I think PIC for sure. Not to give. It's definitely going to be VPR and PIC for sure. Or maybe, yeah, I think that's what it'll be. Definitely not. It's not going to be VIP. It's not. It's literally not going to. We have Reaper. PCT would make sense too. It's less fluid though, so that's why I don't think they would do it. Not that all the job abbreviations are fluid, but I feel like they try to go for more fluid ones, you know? Yeah, I could see PCT as well. Hi, Howard. I think it'll be PIC, but I could also see PCT. But yeah, Viper is not going to be VIP. We literally have Reaper, which is RPR. So Viper is going to be VPR. Maybe PCM, yeah. I feel like the P and the C are necessary. Like, it's Picto for short, right? So I feel like PIC is what they're gonna do, probably. P-Mage. PCO? No, Pick. I think Pick. Yeah, Blue Mage is blue. Pictomancer, Pick, yeah. I know, yeah, I could, PTM makes sense. I could see that, but I hate it, yeah. Emomochi, when the job scanner Dawntrail will be after adding Viper and Picto to rework it somehow. The job screen? Viper could be too close to Reaper potentially if they want something drastically different, but it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I guess you could say it's kind of similar. I don't think they'll go for something different though. I don't know. Care to bet on that? Okay, sorry. I'll quit yapping.
置き換わりだったり1個前に使ったウェポンスキルで置き換わる内容がさらに別のアクションに変わったりっていう複雑なことが起きていて、今どういう状況のバフが自分にかかってるのかとか、敵にどういったデバフを入れてあるのかによって使い分け選択を変える、ルートを変えるみたいなのが必要なので、ちゃんとそういった考えるべき要素みたいなのは盛り込まれてるっていうのをなんとなく思った上で見ていただけると良いかなと。
So we're going to take a look at this in game, and you'll see that the actions will be automatically replaced in the hotbar. So it might seem like we're kind of button mashing, but with the automatic replacements, sometimes it's might be a weapon skill that changes into a different action, or you also have to pay attention to the buffs that you are receiving or enhancements that you are receiving, or the debuffs or enfeeblements that you are dealing to your enemy to switch your combo route. So it's there is elements of sort of thinking about what action to execute next.
まあ見た方が早いね。
I think it's quicker to look at it though.
さあではじゃあ実 気に入ってるの
Oh,
は
the character
今
menu where it lists all the jobs? Oh, I mean, Pictomancer will be here. They might move like blue over to the side since it's a limited job. And the melee's gonna be here. I don't know, that's not something I thought about at all because it seems kind of, I don't know,
ましょう
I don't know, unimportant.
出ました。大丈夫か。綺麗。
This looks like a dancer ability right here. And so does this one.
あとほら山が綺麗って言ってた
山が綺麗。Yeah.
Of course, the mountains
Beautiful
are
mountains.
very pretty.
ワイがファンフェスで着せられたやつ
The costume, we're all too familiar.
What's that mount?
From, Yoshida's appearance at
What's
the
that
Fan
mount, huh?
Festival.
I know, all these, I was just about to say that. All the icons look the same. Bro, colorblind people.
Present
Especially, dude, these two right here. Fuck colorblind people, I guess.
見せていいだろうかと
もう手遅れです。Too late.
All those gift boxes.
Yeah.
Icons.
Dummy icons.
ちょっと待ってよ
Are there other jobs where things look that similar? No, Samurai, these are all super different. Dragoon, very different. Reaper, I mean, like, they're a little similar, but I feel like these are still very different comparatively. These two are very similar. Gibbet and Gallows are super similar. And same with Guillotine. Like, whenever I'm doing Gibbet and Gallows, I know based off of my... Sorry, my neighbor's blasting music from their car. Like, I know which one I need to use based off of where it is, like what keybind it is, right? Like, I know this one in the middle right here. I know that's my rear positional, and I know this is my flank. I don't know which is Gibbet. I don't know which is Gallows. No clue. I just know based on my hotbar which one is rear, which one is flank. Basically, yeah, exactly. Which keybind I have, where they are on the hotbar, yeah. Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker's 1, 2, 3 is pretty similar looking. Gunbreaker's 1, 2, 3 is very similar looking, actually, I would say. Your AoE combo is very similar looking. Sage has a lot of similar stuff, but also healers, you just have one GCD, so... Okay, Justin's dead. You only have one GCD, so... That's not as big of a deal. Dark Knight abilities all look very different, I think. Like, especially your 3 and your 1, 2, 3, it's completely different from your 1, 2. Warrior looks very different. Completely different icons. Paladins are very similar design-wise. Color-wise, they are all different. I don't know if they're different enough to be... like, for it to be easily discernible for people who are colorblind. Because color-wise, they're different, but design-wise, they're pretty similar. Very similar. Like, all of these. Atonement as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Goring Blade is also similar. Just another blade. At least the blade is coming down and not from the lower left corner like all of these are. Bard, everything looks different, although you only have one GCD, one button to press. Dancer, I feel like Dancer abilities look super similar. Like, color aside, the Dancer abilities look very similar. Like, look at these two. And these won't, like... I don't know what any of the fucking Dancer buttons are, because they all just fucking look exactly the same. Monkey... I think the monkey ones look different enough. True Strike and Twin Snakes are a little similar. Like I said, I'm trying to not look at the color of anything. I'm trying to look at the actual design. I think monkey ones are different enough. Maybe. Maybe. Machinist. I think Machinist 1, 2, 3 is fine. That's discernible. Summoner, you press one button. Ninja's also a little similar. Yeah, like your 2, 3, 4 are all very similar. It's all like a swipe, you know, a yellow swipe attack that the figure is doing. And then again, color aside, Dream Within a Dream looks a lot like your Raiju. Based. Isn't the color part of the design? Oh, I'm talking about for colorblind people, Sage. That's why I'm ignoring the colors. Who didn't I look at? Black Mage? Black Mage, I think, yeah, they're all very discernible. Design-wise. I think Red Mage is okay. I think Red Mage is okay. Yeah, I feel like this is the worst out of all of them. I feel like this is even worse than Dancer. And I feel like Dancer is probably the worst offender, in my opinion. But yeah, these look super similar. Color aside, these look so similar. It's literally one swipe, one swipe. This has 2 swipes. This has 1, this has 2. This is an X, this is an X. This... That's really bad.
God mode.
さっきお話しした二刀流ウェポンスキル
I like this stance. I like this stance.
お見せしますね。
Okay, so first let us look at the dual blade weapon skills.
まあ実際にはいろんなものを混ぜていくので、これが別にローテーションというわけじゃないんですけど、ちょっとまず前提を分かりやすくするためにいきます。
So of course, with the actual combo skill rotations, you will need to kind of weave in between the different actions and weapon skills, but just showing off what this set looks like.
この中段にある言葉2の4と5の数字がついてるところをなんとなく中心に見ててください。
So
Yeah, I don't like the drop icon for Viper either. It just looks like stage weapons.
Especially the ones that say 4 and 5.
It does look pretty fast. It's pretty fast.
これが基本だと思ってます。アクションが置き換わってるの多分わかります。
And you may be able to see that the actions are automatically replaced with the next.
I know, Lunch, that's what I was just saying earlier.
はい、変わってますね。いや、チェンジです。
これが二刀流ってやつ。
So this is the dual blade.
で、合体剣ウェポンスキルを使います。
So next is the double blade weapon skill.
Okay, so that's a buff that you keep up on yourself to keep your GCD faster. Yeah, there it is.
今のこの下段に並んでるのが最初からブレードを合体させて攻撃していくウェポン。
50 gauge.
So the actions that are assigned to that bottom row, row 1, are those double blade weapon skills.
で、こうやって攻撃を繰り返していくとですね、ゲージが溜まっていきます。
So of course, as you continuously execute your different skills, the gauge will accumulate.
で、このゲージを消費して、このそれおろしっていう必殺状態に入るオーラバーストみたいなやつだと思ってください。
So when you accumulate enough in that gauge up there, you go into a boosted mode called Reawaken.
で、その状態に入ると合体剣アビリティがガシガシ打てる状態になると思ってください。
And so once you have that reawaken mode, you can execute the different double-bladed abilities.
ちょっとやってみますね。
はい。
I'm gonna try some of them out.
わおおおお
Ranged? What the?
暴れ出しました。
でこういう感じで同じアクションを連打しよう多分見えると思う。
So because the actions are automatically replaced on the hotbar, it might look like you're pressing the same button, but as you can see, there are many different skills and abilities that are being unleashed.
速さはなんとなく分かってもらいました？
But I think you might be able to get a feel of how quickly we're moving.
もっとゆっくり回して
You might be
速さ
how
これま
skills and abilities that are being unleashed.
速さはなんとなく分かって
It
も
looked
らい
like
ま
this
した？
ability had like more
I
than
think you
max
might be
melee
able to
range,
get a
unless they're
feel
like
of how-
increasing
just
max
how
melee or
quickly we're
something.
moving.
もっとゆっくり回してっていう
Sometimes
お
with
声も
parties
ある
he
んで
used
すけ
two
ど
stacks of one of the abilities.
It's
で
about how
He does a
you
triple
want
weave without
the
clipping.
skill of rotation executed slower, but
ゆっくり回すと軽く下がるんですよね
but if you go slowly, the damage output kind of
Well, I
slows
hope
down
that's not
too.
optimal.
とにかく
You just
す
makes
ご
you
く
into
こ
a
う
shut
テン
that
ポ
shut
が
up!
いいのでこうどんどんこうハイテンションに自分のテンションも上がっていくみたいな感じに仕上がっているのでまあそこがまずはちょっと伝わってくれるといいなって
I can only double weave
But as you can see, it is pretty
specific
fast-paced,
abilities
and
at
you've
specific
got,
times.
Different actions.
Usually
that
I
you're
can only
executing, and it
weave
kind
one
of
thing.
builds, so
And
I
double
think
weaving will almost
as you
always
are
clip.
going through your
Oh, wait, what
skill
they said?
rotation, the kind
And now you get to a pretty. Faith, you look extra pretty today.
of gets more exhilarating, and so I'm
Sometimes I
hoping
clip single
that,
weaving. Yeah,
viewers would enjoy
same.
that
It depends
aspect.
on what I'm
まあ
trying
そ
to
れを
weave and when.
の間いわゆるブーストオーラバーストみたいなのをしている状態の時っていうのは先ほどお話した合体剣アビリティが特別に
I love living
2秒で
in
こう
America
クールダウン
and
が回
playing
るような
on
状態
in
に
North America
アビリ
and
ティが
playing
なるんで
on the North America
まあそれ
servers
らをこうたた
and having almost
溢れさ
100
せて
ping.
叩き込みながらであと
That.
は
I love
こ
it.
の
I
合
love
体
80
剣
ping.
ウェポ
Woo!
ンスキルの方
I love 80
で
ping on my NA server while I'm in
合わせ
NA.
ないように挟み込んでいきながら通常ローテーションも使っていくみたいな感じですね
DOA.
So once you have activated Reawaken, in kind of in that aura burst mode,
Why?
The
People seem to be
let's see,
really
the
excited
global
for
recast-
Pictomancer.
Or sorry, the cooldown is 2 seconds, but
I'm sitting with terrible posture.
you need to execute your different sort of double-bladed abilities.
180.
And try not to sort of waste your recast time as it sort of counts back down.
For the Eden
ちなみ
Shiva
にオーラバー
tier,
ストは私勝
I
手に
played
呼ん
with
でるだけ
friends on
で
EU,
それを
and I
し
had
っ
like
て
180
いう
ping.
正式アクション名なんですけどこれねジョブクエストやらないと何のこっちゃ分かんないんで今便宜上そう
I
呼んで
could
ます
barely single weave
So
on
of course,
Samurai.
we have called it Aura Burst just for convenience
just
sake.
lived
But
with the
if
clipping.
you play through the Job Quest series, you'll understand the naming behind the Reawaken action. So
まあ素剣おろしではない
the Japanese says Sore Oroshi. Sounds very similar to Soken, but not Soken.
There was the triple weave.
でももう話す内容としては割とシン
So wait, hang on.
でももう
yeah. Look at this ability right here. This gap closer. He uses both charges. Watch. I love quad weaving. I love quad weaving. Quad, yeah. He does one over here, and then both stacks of that. It's here. I'm just kidding. Here.
So, there's not much to say about it because it's
OGCDs
quite
have an internal
straightforward,
clock?
but,
No, it's not a
basically,
bug.
like until you get used to it, I think it's best to just follow which ones, which icons.
That even happens to me on like Samurai, for example. If I press Shinten multiple times, it queues up the action. And so I get animation locked and it clips my GCD, but it will queue up Shinten more than once sometimes. So, and it'll make me do it twice. And like I said, me being on like 80 ping, I will get animation locked, it will clip my GCD. But yeah, that's just, it queued up the ability twice.
Until you just...
Very flashy, yeah. Happens you on ninja mudras? Yeah, it happens to me with the mudras too.
So, there's not much to say about it because it's quite
ATM
straightforward.
simulator.
But basically, like until you get used to it, I think it's best to just follow which icons kind of light up between the double blade and the dual blade abilities.
I know, ninja mudras.
ID とかやってる時に範囲でまとめして敵が少なくなってきていちいちそのゼロからやり直さなくてもいいように途中がルートにつながるようになってたりします。
And of course, the ones on the right-hand side are more for your AoE attacks. Of course, some of the combos, it doesn't require you to do it, but like say for example, you're in an instance dungeon and once you kind of
I think
have your tank pulled all the mobs kind of together, you can go from that sort of single target dual blade weapon skills to switch over
so
to
it's like monk. So it's like monk. Because I love monk AoE. I love monk in dungeons because you can just swap between single target and AoE. I love that about monk, dude. I love that. This is a new class. This is Viper.
AoE dual blade abilities.
No rate buff on this job. It doesn't look like it. Has he pressed this yet? What is this?
まあさっきもちょっとお話ししたように、いや割とまあ単純じゃん見えるんですよ。使うアクションというかボタンも少ないので、ただ冒頭ちょっとお話ししたように。
Because that could be a rate buff. I don't. Oh no, he did.
To switch over.
It's on a 2-minute cooldown. So I would assume that's the rate buff. It's on a 2-minute cooldown. Yeah. Doink.
Sounds very similar to Soken, but not Soken.
It did whatever this says. Oh no, that's because he enshrouded like at the same time.
Orochi. Sounds very similar to Soken, but not Soken. Sounds very similar to Soken, but not Soken.
Debuff.
Orochi
Oh no,
sounds
it
very
gave
similar to
him.
Soken, but not Soken.
Didn't no, that was because he
Very similar to
enshrouded.
Soken, but not Soken.
Oh, it made it so he can enshroud. And so okay, it did exactly what they said Plentiful is going to do. This is Reaper. Okay, this is Reaper. They said that Plentiful Harvest with Reaper is going to make it so you are able to enshroud, but it will not actually give you gauge. It will just give you the ability to enshroud. And that's exactly what happened here. His gauge, he's only at 40.
Says,
But he presses that.
Sorei Orochi sounds very similar to Soken, but not Soken.
And then he enshrouds. So yeah, it's just fast Reaper, I guess. Is it an overcap? Yeah. It's for every job that can overcap. Why? Just don't overcap! Just don't overcap! Just think about the buttons that you're pressing and don't overcap. Quite literally skill issue. Literally. Just think about the buttons that you need to press and that you're going to press and do not
ようわ
overcap.
からない人はまず最初のうちは光ってるアクションを押していきゃいいです。
So, there's not much to say about it because it's quite straightforward. But
They hate gauge
basically, like
management.
until you get used to it, I think it's best to just follow which icons kind of light up between the double blade and the dual blade abilities.
They didn't talk about them? I mean, yeah, they only talked about a couple things per job. So,
こっち側で光ってるやつは
like, they didn't talk about this for Viper, but we're seeing it. They only talked about it for Reaper, I think.
範囲用なので、
Like, Reaper was the only one that they actually mentioned it on, I think.
あんまり手触り変わらないように範囲も単体も。であと
But we can
単体
see
から
that's what's
範囲
happening here.
コンボをつないだりという。
I
つなぐ
haven't
っていうか
seen
ローテーション的には
machinist
必要ないん
stuff
だけど
or red mage stuff.
ID とかやってる時に範囲でまとめ
Still on the melee
敵が
DPS,
少なくなってきて、いちいちそのゼロからやり直さなくてもいいよ。途中がルートつながるよう
Armor
な。
Crush gives you 2 kunai, and I only need to take one away.
And of course, the ones on the right-hand side are more for your AoE attacks. Of course, some of the combos, it doesn't require you to do it, but like say for example, you're in an instance dungeon and once you kind of like
My posture.
have your tank pulled
It's
up,
terrible.
all the mobs kind of together, you can go from that sort of single target double blade, or sorry, single target dual blade weapon skills to switch over to the AoE.
Yeah, love that.
dual
Big fan of
blade,
that.
Abilities.
It does just seem like fast Reaper so far, but we'll see. There is a dot on the boss,
まあさっきもちょっとお話ししたよ
or
うに
on the enemy
で
target
割
striking
とまあ
dummy.
単純じゃんに見えるんですよ。使うアクションというかボタンも少ない。
Yeah, the ninja stuff looked
た
cool.
だ、
I think it's perfectly fine to have Huton, you know, baked in because I don't know, it didn't really do anything in terms of like, I don't know. It was just like you did it before you pulled the boss,
テイス
and
トが
then
自分にかかる。
you sometimes end your combo with
よだめ
4
アッ
instead of
プの
3.
バフがかかる。敵に
You did like what, once per minute or something? It
火ダ
just
メアップのバフがかかるっていう、まあおおむね3つの
it wasn't really
効果があるんですけ
anything,
ど
you know?
これの状態とか残り時間に応じて1個のアクションからこう派生していくののどっちを使っていくかみたいなのを切り替えていくことになるので。
なるほど。
So, of course, just looking at how the actions are assigned on the hotbar and
It didn't
the
make it more
buttons that you're
skillful. Yeah,
pressing
that's what
might
I'm saying.
seem
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's very simple because there aren't as
Time
many
with it being gone and then
buttons,
yeah, exactly.
to
Like a new gauge
keep
seems
track
so
of.
much more
But
interesting
you
and so much
also
more
are
involved
having to look
than
at
just
the different
end your 1, 2,
enhancements and
3 with
enfeeblements
4
that you
instead of
have.
3 once per minute.
Sometimes it's haste
You know.
on yourself or damage dealt
once every
is
30 seconds
increased.
or however
Sometimes
often, you
it
know.
is the damage dealt by the enemy is decreased and it's a debuff on that end. So you have to pay attention to how much of that you have left and choose the action that corresponds to whatever enhancement or enfeeblement that is assigned.
もうだから結構考える
I'm excited for
要素
Reaper.
は
I'm excited for Reaper.
瞬
I'm
間的に
excited for
出てくる
Reaper.
のかなと
Or
敵の
Viper.
まあボスが今どういう状態にいるのか
Sorry,
とか
Viper. That was not on purpose. That was not a joke.
接近アクションも
Genuinely, I'm excited for Viper. I am. Oh yeah, there we saw the dash didn't
You do need to be
do
a bit
damage.
strategic, depending on how you want to approach, say, like a boss. Or there are also some close-ranged attacks that are available for the Viper.
あとは特定でこう遠隔攻撃が使えるようになって、それにもこう遠隔コンボがあるみたいな状態にもなるので、まあ、ボスから離れなきゃいけない時に、使うのか、まあ、その効果があるうちに使うべきなのか、腐らせてしまってもまあ今回はしょうがないのかみたいなところは考えながらやっていくことになるかなと思います。
And then conversely, you also have a ranged attack where you specify your enemy and then attack from afar. So if there is a situation where you can't necessarily be up close to the boss character, or say, do you want to take advantage of the enhancement that you have to execute those actions? Or do you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna let it go this turn and then come back to it some other time, etc.
ちょっとリキャタイムが戻ったら、
I wanna
その
see-
一旦だけちょっとね技
Do you want to take the boss character,
the
or
red one?
say, do you want to take advantage of the boss character, or say, do you to the boss character, or say, do up
Okay, so
close
it's
to
it was this.
the boss character,
That gives the debuff?
or say,
Yeah, it's that one. It different color. They
do
gave you a
you
buff,
want to take advantage
and then
the boss character, or say, do you want to take advantage
and then that gave a debuff or a dot, whichever it is, to the target. I have no idea what the fuck's going on with Viper, but it looks cool. Yeah, it feels like a combination of Monk and Reaper. Yeah, I get Monk vibes more than Dancer, but I was definitely thinking Dancer too. But I mean, Dancer and Monk are kind of similar with how, you know, you press one button and then you have like multiple options of where to go, you know?
of the enhancement that you have to execute those actions? Or do you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna let
Yeah,
it go
but Dancer
this
is fucking
turn
procs,
and then come
yeah,
back
so
to it
fuck
some
that.
other time, etc.
ちょっとリキ
Dancer's so
ャタイ
fucking
ムが戻った
I hate Dancer.
その
Sorry.
一旦だけ
Sorry
ちょっとね
if you
技
like
の効果
Dancer.
までまだ
I'm
見せ
so
てない
happy
の
for
で
you if you like Dancer, but I personally
こう
strongly
こう連鎖
dislike
す
it.
る
I
か
hate
ち
it.
ょ
Dancer.
っと遅めに
Monk Reaper and Ninja range stuff, yeah. The range
Yeah.
stuff is really
We're waiting
nice.
for that recast time to get back so that we can show you at least some examples of like how these buffs and debuffs kind of affect your choice in which action to execute.
Also,
と
I've been messing with the rings nonstop.
体験ウェポ
I'm
ン
not
ス
used
キ
to
ルを
wearing
使います
rings. I don't know if I can keep them on. Unrequited love.
まず
So we would use, we will first use a double blade action.
でそのうち派生するアクションが2個存在してます、
And then from that, you will see it'll branch off to two different actions.
でそのうちの2段目にどっちのアクションを使っても構わないんです
Bruise my
けど、
fingers.
まあ、これシチュエーションに応じて自分で考えて使うんですけど、それによって
Fidget spinning
後
rings?
の
I'm
コ
just,
ンボ
I'm
ルー
messing
ト
with
が
them
変わった
because
り
I
します
feel them constantly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
So
used to
with
wearing
these two
rings, and so I'm
actions, you can use
constantly
either
hyper
one.
aware.
But depending on the situation, you'd have
That
to
they're there.
kind of choose which one, and then the combo route from there will kind of differ.
いきますね。まず初段入れ
Oh,
る
by the way.
と同じアクション2つ
By the way, cute.
So we landed that first one, and then you see two actions light up.
ついてますね。
And it has
これどっち
pockets.
使ってもいいんですけど3から使います先。
So let's
Hi,
use
Judy.
3 first.
そうするとアビリティがこっち使いなさい。
Green dress, pocket dress.
でこ
Hi,
う
dog.
いうコンボになります。
And then go from 6 then to 5.
I am doing well. I'm looking forward to Viper. I almost said Reaper again. Why did I almost say Reaper
Two
again?
breaks off onto another.
コンボルートが変わる。
See those two.
I'm very
do not
excited
light
for.
up
I'm
in
feeling
this
very,
instance
very
if you
excited for
use
Viper.
that second action.
で同じで今度は
I do still hate how similar everything looks on the hotbar, and all of the attacks look the same as
こ
well
っちがどう変わるかをちょっと
outside of your
Okay, so next we're gonna do that.
sorry,
sort of
your
double-bladed
awakened
that
phase, not
attack
enshroud,
one,
your
and then
awakened
go from
phase.
2 and see how that changes.
So yeah, it really seems like a Monk Reaper hybrid.
2を使います
We're using 2.
さっきこっちから光ったんですけど、
はい
こっちから光る
This time the
間違った
skill that lit up was different from when we used that third button in the row 1.
でこうやって間違って他のウェポンスキルを使うとはいロスみたいな
なるほど。
感じになってしまうので
I hope you don't have to triple
And
weave though.
if you don't use the correct action, so to speak, you kind of lose out on your optimal damage.
まあこの辺はぜひね目次を
Yeah,
叩いて
it seems like it will feel different
いや
just based on
So we
watching
recommend you
this.
get some practice. Maybe use a striking dummy.
Like
to
it
get
already
used
looks
to
more
the
far more
actions.
involved than Reaper.
ちょっと待ってください
Like the burst pretty much looks exactly the same as Reaper almost. Almost.
ああなるほどなるほどそういうことね
Quad weave, please? Hell no. But yeah, I hope you don't have to fucking triple weave
確か
for
にそう取れるのか1個法則
like
なんですけど
optimal play.
さっき
Hope
言
there's
った
no animation
3
logs.
つのバフのうちの敵の火ダメアップって言ったやつ
It didn't
それは付
look
与
like
した
there were based on
Viper から
watching him,
の
but
ダメージだけが上がるなのでシナジーとかじゃないっていうのを
yeah, you have like a dot on the boss and also some self buffs. So
So out of the 3
yeah, I'm
enhancements,
very interested.
or
I'm very interested.
buffs,
I'm very
debuffs,
interested.
debuffs, so the third one was supposed to be
Marty's way better than Reaper.
The damage the damage received by the enemy.
Gotta take advantage of my fantastic paint. Shut
The
up, Howard.
damage
Shut
that the
up.
Viper deals to the enemy is increased. So it's not meant to be like synergy, so to speak, but it's a buff that the Viper needs to pay attention to in order to
A lot of double
decide
weaving.
on
Yeah.
the appropriate action.
であとは
That kind of worries me because it does look very fast. And girl, I can't double weave on Monk. Death's design is the Reaper dot. The dot that doesn't do damage. It's not a damage over time dot, but it's a debuff that increases your damage. Yeah. But you know, for all intents and purposes, you can just call it a dot because in terms of gameplay, it functions the same way. You use it the same way. You keep your dot up on the boss
せ
at
っ
all
かく
times.
文句からバフデバフ業種をなく
The
し
new
たって
Premier
言っ
Dance
てる
Partner
の
or
に
saying,
こ
I don't
れいつにあるのか
know. We'll
っ
have to
て
see.
いうコメントもいただいてるんですけど
We'll have to see.
こっ
No
ちは
one will ever
あの
dance with
こ
me
の
again.
光る
Except I'm gonna try
HV
recursion.
側でちゃんと次どっち使うといいですよっていうのを誘導
I'll
す
have
る仕
to
組
fight
み
with
を新し
Helmut
く作っ
though.
てるんでこっ
If
ち
he
を
also wants to
中心
raid
に見ても
on
らえれば
Viper,
と思います
we'll take turns.
And one more comment. There seems to have been mention from the comments that we just mentioned that Monk is going to do away with kind of having to stare at the buffs, debuffs, and the timers. So now are we forced to do that in the Viper job? But that is not the case. We have set up the job HUDs so that it'll guide you with like lighted elements and things like that to
Yeah, like
so that you can recognize which direction you should go.
that's like how, okay, so that's like Dragoon. So they're changing Monk single target to be more kind of like Dragoon, right? Where with Dragoon, you have a dot on the boss, and then you also have your buff on yourself, right? But you kind of don't really notice that you do, at least when it comes to single target, right? You would notice it more if you have like a two target situation, like BJCC or UCOB ads, stuff like that. You know, there you notice it more, but just because of the way you do your rotation, you naturally keep up your buff on yourself. You naturally keep your dot going on the boss. So I feel like that's what this is going to be like, because that's kind of what they're doing to Monk as well. with, or at least it sounds like that's what they're doing based on what they said about Monkey.
So in terms of choosing which action to pick next.
まあ説明としては非常にシンプルで以上なんですけど、これまあちょっと触ってもらうのがまあもちろん一番なんですけど、かなりテンポよくやり込んでいくと自分自身結構のこうのめり込んでいけるジョブに仕上がってるので、ぜひ
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have a raid buff. We haven't seen
日本の
one.
剣を持ち、スタイリッシュにかつスピーディーに戦ってみたい
Assuming
という
this is
方は
everything, it doesn't look like they
使ってい
do.
ただけると嬉しく思います。
So yeah, I think that's about it for in terms of explanation. I think it's best if you try it out and get a feel for it yourself. But I think this is a job where if you master it, you can really get involved and really into it. So if you're interested in utilizing this job with the two blades to fight stylish,
I'm actually
and in a
hungry now.
very
I'm feeling
speedy
snacky.
way, I definitely recommend, or I would encourage you to give it a try. To do your combos, or you can choose to just continue with your single target
I was saying
attack and
how
whatnot. So as you can see in the hot bars that are set up
Viper
here,
is getting the
you
monk
can
treatment in
perhaps
terms
assign,
of
all of
being
your
able
single target
to
attacks
quickly
in one
swap
block.
and flex between AoE
In this
and single
example, we have
target,
the
and I
3x3,
love that.
Hot
I
bar set
love
up
that.
so that you've got a single target on one side, and then the other side, after like a single row of extra ones, you have your AoE attack. So maybe that might help with
love
the
it.
visibility. And
Hi,
if you
Zoxius.
look at it,
How are you?
It'll make more sense.
はい、大丈夫そうですね。
はい、ありがとうございます。
バイパーの説明が長いって言ってちょっと喧嘩になってるコメントがあるんで落ち着いてください。ごめんなさいね。新ジョブなんでちょっとどうしても長めに
You're gonna hate the
説明
battle
させて
music
もらってます。
after
すいませ
5
ん
minutes after the expansion releases?
So
Yeah.
the explanation for Viper, although we said it's simple,
Why doesn't he show the
became
red
pretty long,
gauge?
but it is a new job. And we
Those are
wanted
just
to kind of
meditation
dig
stacks,
deeper
so don't
into
worry about it.
So apologies, but we'll move
It's
on.
fine. It's just meditation stacks. You just
は
you
い、
meditate.
では、以上新ジョブ近接命令 DPS、はい、バイパーの
When did he get them? Yeah, he has them sitting there for like a long time. I know he used them at one point.
Buffs, debuffs, forced to do that in the Viper job, but that is not the case. We have set up the job HUDs
Maybe
so
he
that
didn't.
it'll guide you.
No, he didn't. He
with,
never
like,
uses them.
lighted.
このうち
You want to take
He never
advantage
uses
of
them.
the attack where you specify your enemy and then attack from afar. So if there is a situation where you can't necessarily be up close to the boss character, or say do you want to take advantage of the
So 1, 2, 3,
enhancement
4,
that you
he gets
have
one.
to execute those actions, or do you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna let it go this turn and then come back to it some other time, etc. Well, I'm gonna let it go this
Okay,
to
so
execute those actions, or do you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna let it go this turn?
So, okay, this, we saw that they made this ability that he has on the 7 do what they said Plentiful Harvest is going to do for Reaper, where instead of it giving you 50 gauge, it's just going to give you the ability to enshroud. This is the same thing. Use it. It just gave him the ability to awaken or reawaken. I'm assuming it's this buff right here. Ranged attacks. I don't know if they're a combo ranged attacks. At some point you can see it. Is there gauge not for the enshroud? This is the little like potion type bottle right here. But I think
and
it was
then come
talking
back
about
to it some other
the red
time,
diamonds here.
etc.
But yeah, this also gave him 1 diamond. But yeah, he was using some here. We
Or
saw.
say, do you want to take advantage of the enhancement that you have to execute those actions, or do you decide, okay,
Yeah, it's
well,
right here.
I'm gonna let it
He uses it and
go this turn,
that gives him
and
1.
then
and then
come
yeah,
back
he
to it
used
some other
ranged
time,
attack right there.
etc.
And that used it up.
And then come back to actions, or do you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna let it go this turn, and
Yeah,
then
then he
come
did
back to it
this
some
and
other
that used
time,
it up.
etc.
ちょっとリキャタイムが戻ったらその一旦だけちょっとね
Pretty
技の
Marble
効果内
Soda,
容
thank
ま
you
で
for
ま
the
だ
follow.
お
Welcome
見せ
on
でき
in.
ないので
Hey, Xfix.
どう変化するかのちょっと遅めに
Yeah, 6 used 1. Yeah, yeah. That's why it's lit up right now, because he still has one available.
Well, I'm gonna
フォロワー
say about
Just go back to before he attacked it all. Yeah, you can see it's not lit up until he gets one, which he'll get from pressing 1 here, I think.
and you may be able to see that the
He didn't press 1.
Yeah, it changes.
Press the button, Yoshi.
skill.
Okay. Yeah, there. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it looks cool. Like I said, it looks like a Reaper Monk hybrid. It definitely does look better than Reaper, so that makes me happy. That makes me happy. Karisa-san? Karisa-san! Lens, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. And Mice Crispy, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Paid time off? Hi, Core. Verge.
化するかのちょっと遅めに
Yeah, it definitely looks like a lot more is going on. Like I said, it feels like it's getting the... Monk is getting the Dragoon treatment, where they are sort of forcing your GCD one way, or like forcing your combo a certain way. Just based on what they were saying, that's what it sounded like. Because again, with Dragoon, you have your self buff, you have your dot on the boss, but you don't really ever notice that you're trying to keep them up, you know? Because you just kind of, it happens naturally if you do your rotation correctly. Which, based on their explanation, it sounds like that's what they're doing to Monk as well. And then it feels like that's the case for this too. First depends on you. If I'm not comfortable enough with Viper for week 1, then I'll just go Samurai, because I know I can do consistent and reliable damage on Samurai. This looks very fun, so I'm gonna try it out and, you know, get it leveled quickly, and I'll probably go through the MSQ as Viper, honestly. Yeah, the dance part of the warrior for sure. What if Reaper's the biggest DPS? I mean, I can do it. I won't like it, but I can do it. Potentially, maybe. I think at heart, I will always be a Samurai main, I think. But I am excited for Viper. It does look interesting. I like how the GCD does look fast. Like, even outside of your enshroud. Sorry, outside of your awakened state. It does look fast, which I like. Dynamo Call Viper. It's fine. Hamlet will be found in a shallow grave. Come dawn.
So we're waiting for that recast time to get back so that we can...
次どっち使うといいですよっていうのを誘導する仕組みをあとは、
rendering, yeah.
パーティーや自身に対するバフっていうのもありますよ
Okay,
と。
buffs. But yeah, I like this concept, right? Like they drew this hammer weapon and then they used it, right? I like that concept and that idea, but I said this yesterday. I waited. My initial reaction to the Splatoon visual effects was, I don't like that, but let me wait and see. Let me sit on it. Let me think about it. I still don't like it. I don't like it. That's fine. I'm still excited to play it. Can't wait to make the job and turn off the effects. Woohoo. Yeah, I really don't like the effects, but it does seem fun, and I'm still excited to play it. But yeah,
is also capable
the concept of
granting
like
buffs
making the
to
weapon and then using it, and like it gives you different abilities based on what you created. I like that.
Boy,
do I hate how it looks. Oh, do I hate how it looks. Wow, you're too nice, TY.
So Pictomancers that may not have a very high damage output might be like
It's true.
Yoshida, who can't draw very well.
It's true, Jafina.
さあではまあこの説明だけだとやっぱり分かりづらい
Another W take from Dafina Bobina. You don't think it's a good fit for this game? I agree. Like, everything doesn't need to look the same, but it's too different in a direction that I personally don't like.
What
I'm sure there are people that do like it, but I don't like it. It's straight out of Splatoon. I don't like it. Way too cartoony for my liking.
キーをガチャガチャガチャって叩き始めるとね何かあったかってちょっとビビる。
this may be like the
Just
rate
double
buff or
checking
something.
if Foxclon didn't write any
Or no, you're not
notes.
able to use it, so this might be. Yeah, Moogle hammer. Also, I hate the outfit. I said this when they revealed Pictomancer. I was like, whoa,
So
I
this is,
really
of
hate the
course,
outfit.
AF gear for the Pictomancer.
I don't like it. That is kind of cute. It's gigantic. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't like the outfit. I really don't like it. I hate the brush.
So, as you can see in
like
the hotbars,
this bit right
these are
here,
the different
hate it.
actions that are available for the Pictomancer.
I don't like it.
この
And very similar takes for games, similar music tastes. It's true.
パレットでここのデザインも武器ごとに
It's true. Every time June says something, I'm like, same, 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 yup, same, yup,
Of
yup,
course,
true.
in the left hand is the paint palette, and
But
depending
no,
on
it's not even the color. Like, the
weapon
actual
or
design, I
the brush
dislike.
Set, the
not the
design of
color.
the palette is also different, and our team is very particular about the designs of these per the different sets. So
の絵を描くでこの風景のアイコンが
I think it'll be
風景を
fun
描きま
too.
す
It looks like it'll be fun. Yeah, I just dislike everything about it
you see in
visually,
the hotbar, control
which
8,
sucks
control
because I
9,
was
and
I was
control
more
0,
excited for it.
has pom pom, weapon, and landscape
Pom-pom.
respectively. So pom pom does the creature, the hammer of course creates the weapon, and then landscape is landscape.
描きますね
Okay, so we're gonna start to.
これ今映像がないので一瞬で描きましたけどここに
Wait, sorry, I want to see that again.
映像がない描きますね
Weapon, and then we're gonna start landscape.
描きますね
It's like way above his character.
So we're gonna start to.
これ
Yeah, he was too zoomed in.
今映像がないので一瞬で描きましたけどここに描かれたの分かりますね
Of course, we're not engaged in combat
Justin,
right
just
now,
say you
so
hate women.
didn't
Just say you
see,
can't stand a woman
cast
with
playing,
opinions.
And it was instant.
But also don't say
as you
that
can
because
see
I'm your
on the
mother and
far
you can't talk to me that
left,
way.
We see the creature motif.
で続いては武器の絵を描きます
Next, we will do a weapon motif.
Good room, woman hater.
描かれましたね
And there it is.
で最後風景の絵を描きます
Next is a landscape.
今の状態はまあ非戦闘状態なので今のように走りながらでも別に描
Yeah,
い
this
たりとか
like in terms of how
で
this
きるの
plays,
で
this already it just
非
looks
戦闘中
very
にいちいち
interesting.
立ち止まって描かなきゃいけないみたいなわけじゃないので
I
そ
love
こは便利
haters.
になるようにはしてあります
So of course,
Every
right now we're
creeple.
outside of combat, so it's
I mean, it looks very
instant,
fast,
and
at
then
least.
even if you're moving around, you can.
The hat brush and palette
create
are
your
cute. The palette is
motifs.
cute. I don't like the
まずこの3
brush
種類あるんだ
design
という
for
のだ
that
け
specific one.
一旦
or
覚え
the
ておい
hat.
てください
So
I just don't
as a
like
first step, let's remember that there are these 3 different motifs.
Good night, JD. Sleep well. Good night. Good night.
お伝えしや
Thanks
す
for
い
being here.
絵とは切り離された魔法の説明をしたいと思います
So before we go into how these motifs come into play,
Press the
let
buttons,
us
press the fucking buttons!
explain the different magic, let's see, ether hue elements of
Say
the
one thing
Pictomancer
positive.
in combat.
Brewery.
で魔法には置き換えが行われてい
Yeah,
て、コンボのような
I introduced GIF to the word brewery the other day because even as a native English speaker, I hate saying brewery.
The icon will be automatically replaced with the next step in the combo route. So it's kind of like a skill rotation combo.
Chairman Ashwell Town.
キャストします。
GIF was trying to say it and he kept stuttering at the start. He was like, brewery.
Placed.
Sounded like he's trying to start a car.
この同系統のライン
Okay,
の
anyway, sorry.
3
You
つの
need
魔
to pay
法
attention.
まあ色に関わる
Ooh, rainbow
魔法
palette. Dude, I like the palette. The palette is very cute, but I don't like the canvases.
ここに1個ゲージが増えたように白いインクが使えるようになりました。
So with the ether hue combo, once it's related to colors basically, or maybe like light might be a close concept too. But as you can see in that palette gauge, you can now see that you have white color available.
なんかちょいちょい
Wait,
吉田
that's
の
blue
マイ
as
クが
hell.
遠いって言われるな。
Sorry.
It's like
adjusting
white on the inside and blue on the outside, but then it glows blue.
PC なんでっていうんだろうね、操作しようとするとちょっと机から
そうね
その遠ざかるんだよ
You
な
don't see yourself enjoying
マイクと整体しな
Picto?
くなる
It looks fun. It looks very interesting. I'm excited for both of them. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. It is blue as hell. Look at it. Look at it. Every time it pulses, it's so
ある
blue.
ホワイトホーリーこいつを1個消化して、栄称のない魔法が使えるようになるんですけどね。
あ
So you can utilize that one of the charges on that palette gauge to execute an instant sort of action spell.
もう一回やりますね。
はい
これが弱め
The
の
casts are
栄
fast
称が
though,
早い魔法
which
です
is
ね。
nice.
So this is a less powerful but relatively quick to cast magic spell.
でこのもう一個、ゲージがこうレインボーのやつ増えてってますよね。
Rainbow gauge?
So in addition
Guys, it's
to
literally
the palette
gauge.
You see like a rainbow kind of gauge also.
Gauge.
これを50消費するとこの
Literally gauge.
パレットを変更するひっくり返すっていうアクションが使えるようになるので
Literally
こ
gauge.
れで、色の属性というかを変更するみたいなイメ
Gauge,
ージ
gauge. Rainbow gauge.
だと
Hi,
思ってく
Cinder.
ださい。
And by consuming some charge, 50 charge off of that rainbow gauge, you can activate subtractive palette, which basically kind of flips over the palette, kind of changes the element of your ether hue.
これを使うと今度は属性、色の属性をさっき白系だったのを栄称は長いけど強力な魔法を栄称しながらさらに強力な
Catch me on the black
コメット
purple side of the
さっきのホワ
palette.
イトホーリーでしたよね。
So, of course, earlier we utilized the white color to
Okay, you got
cast
me, Lamau.
holy in white.
Yeah, June typing that
with
with a completely
subtractive
straight face.
palette, And you
Okay, you got me,
change the
Lamau.
elements of the ether hue.
That was
your
so funny. I'm literally laughing my
different
ass off.
sort of ether hue spells will expand.
Holy shit, I
Of course,
can't
cast
breathe.
times will become a little bit longer, but they are going to be a bit more powerful. So you saw like thunder and magenta or like comet.
Yeah, they shouldn't say because of phobia.
書
Yeah,
いて
yeah,
お
yeah.
いて、
Watch out,
そろ
please.
そ
Me.
ろボスが激しい攻撃してくるぞってなったら、具現化してそうそのアクションにこう敵のアクションに対応しながらこれで火力切らさないみたいなこともできますよと。
So a way to use the weapon motif would be to have it on standby, kind of depicted in your canvas, and then once you're ready to go in and deal continuous damage, you can unleash your hammer combo so that you're continuously outputting damage.
で最後風景の絵はリキャストタイムがかなり長いです。これはパーティーバフでもあるからです。
So next is the landscape motif. This one has a longer casting time because it is also the depiction for your party buffs.
実行します。
Okay, executing.
こうやって。
So I wonder, I assume it's going to be like the party
まあ
has to
別
be
に
in it to be
もっと広い
buffed.
範囲に効果あるんですけど。でさらに攻撃にも転じられる。
So of course, not only is it a buff, but you can also utilize it for attacks. The range is going to be wider because it's going to be a party buff.
で、
So no, they don't have to be in it.
こちらをですね展開中はですねさっきの説明した最初の魔法が無栄称で使えたり、5キャストまで無栄称で使えたりするのでここと組み合わせてバースト無栄称でするみたいな感じで開幕ローテーションとかバーストとか組んでいくことになります。
So with the landscape motif and the buff that you can apply to the party will allow
Yeah, she said
for
it'll be bigger than
your
that because it's a
either
buff. So
hue,
I think the buff just
magics
goes
that we
out.
explained earlier with the different colors in the palette to be cast without the longer cast time. So if you want to
Haste
say
buff.
going into a battle and starting off with like a damage burst in the beginning of the battle, that might be a way to place your buff there and start off your battle with optimal
Yeah, I would not like haste.
damage output.
まあ今までの本当キャスターどのタイプとも似てないので、まあ最初ちょっと慣れるまでかもしれないけど、
Yeah.
ちょっとだけ、まあ、
Alignments and weaving, it would fuck with.
手に馴染んでるわけじゃないんでミスったら申し訳ないけど。
So the Pictomancer is rather different from the other magic ranged DPS. So apologies, it's still getting used to how it moves around, but let me show you some examples of how a skill rotation might look like.
Yoink.
あれこの後どうすんだっけ
Oh, or you
そうだ
forgot.
ピクトウィングだ
Actually, yeah, he's a どうする?
Looks very fancy.
まあ今みたいな感じで意外と一個ずつ説明するとまあエーション長いかもなって思うかもしれないけど、やること間に結構挟んでいけるので慣れてくるとすごくこういろんなことをやりながら楽しめると思います。
Yeah, if it's just for them, then that's fine. Yeah.
触ってみていただければと思います。
So at first glance, it might look like there's a lot of cast time involved, but you are kind of weaving in different
faster with the buffs,
movements
but they
as
get
you are
3 different
doing
buffs.
things. So once you get
Might have been
used to
saved by the party,
it,
yeah.
I think it might be a fun way to kind of maneuver around what you need to do next.
Helmuth. Magic cast time and recast time reduced due to the effect of the imaginary sky field. Yeah, so hopefully that's just for them. Yeah. Lower, but it's more buffer. It looks like you have to cast them, Lunch, but they're instant. Like he just clicked them. He was like doink doink doink.
そろそろ眠いぞっていうコメントも日本の方からは見えているので、まあそりゃそうですよね。
It is getting very late at night.
It does
Japan
suck,
now.
but
はい。
Moving along.
では大丈夫よね。どっちもまあいつもそうなんですけど、ちゃんと面白くなるように作ってるんですけど、どっちもめっちゃ面白いんで、ちょっと久々にメインジョブ変えてもいいかなって思う
yeah, kind of like
ぐらいには
ley lines. Yeah,
できてるんで。
instant outside of battle. Yeah.
So yeah,
It still
both
sucks
jobs,
every time you
of
wipe,
course,
like,
with any
especially
job,
if you're progging an ultimate and you're wiping, you know, like 20-30 seconds into the fight or something, and then you have to every single time
introduce into an expansion.
Every single time.
We try to make it as
Every
interesting
single
as we can. But I think both of these are pretty fun, so I'm hoping that perhaps we can persuade some people to change their
everyone.
mains.
I assume
again.
everyone, because it says capable of granting buffs to party and
お
self.
前明日何時出社よって
It's just like Carby or Monk, you don't see the issue.
Our
It's
Japanese
just
audience
annoying. It's
have
just 3
reached their
buttons you have to
bedtime.
press every
But
single
what time is
time.
it?
Yeah, like
You have
having
to
to
go to
resummon
work.
Carbuncle
明日は午前
is
10時
stupid.
に会社にい
Having
なきゃ
to resummon Eos is stupid.
It
Every
has
single
to
time
do
you
the
die,
opposite.
it's just dumb. Having to
Our media
resummon.
tour is going on in Japan right now.
明日はインタビューが
It's not like the
Lots
end of the
of
world,
interviews.
but it's just dumb. You just shouldn't have to resummon every single time, you know?
よっしょはいじゃあ
Okay.
Thank you to everyone for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like and maybe even press that little subscribe button. A huge thank you to everyone who supports me over on Twitch, and a big shout out to my monthly Ko-Fi subscribers. I would not be able to create content for a living without you guys, so truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you all very much, and I'll see you in the next video and or Twitch stream. Bye bye!